last part, we talked about the variation of pressure with respect to height in a liquid or an incompressible fluid, and we'll see that the equation that we can derive as P2 equals P1 plus rho g times the height difference. That is, if you are in a liquid, you have two levels, 1 and 2. What this equation simply states is that if 1 is below 2, pressure increases with decreasing depth, and pressure decreases with increasing height. Pressure increases as you go up, pressure decreases as you come down. And I mentioned that this is the basic of an important pressure measurement technique, because if you know one of these pressures, you can calculate the other, because the density of the liquid is presumably known and the height difference can be easily measured. So this is a pressure measurement technique, and this is called manometry. Manometry requires the knowledge of only height measurement and density, and that's the basis of the most basic pressure measuring device called a barometer. A barometer is a device that is used for inferring the atmospheric pressure. It works on a very simple principle. What it contains first is a tub of mercury. It has some heavy liquid, a liquid whose density is quite high. Density of mercury happens to be 13,600 kilograms per meter cube. When compared with water, which is only 1,000 kilograms per meter cube, density is 13.6 times heavier or denser. Now, inverted tube is placed inside this mercury. So this is the liquid level, and we carefully place an inverted tube on the mercury, and it is ensured that this air that is inside here, this space is evacuated, so that we can assume that the pressure of the gas in this space is 0. We can assume that the pressure of the gas in this space is 0. What will happen is, you have atmosphere here exerting pressure on mercury. Okay, this is atmospheric pressure. Atmospheric pressure is due to the gas molecules collectively exerting pressure on this surface of the mercury liquid, which causes the liquid to rise up. Okay, the liquid rises up, and it keeps rising until the pressure exerted by this column of liquid, balances the driving force, which is atmospheric pressure. That is, it rises up to a height h, and it keeps rising until there is mechanical equilibrium, meaning there are no imbalance forces, which happens when the pressure at this point and the pressure at this point are the same. So you have P atmosphere equals whatever the pressure of the gas here is. So let's say I call this some PV, is PV plus rho mercury times G times H. Whatever PV is, but we said we'll evacuate the space so that the gas in this space has a pressure of 0. So PV is practically 0. PV is practically 0. Now you have mercury. Mercury is a liquid, and because you have a liquid here that is up against a vacuum space here, some very small minuscule amount of mercury will vaporize and form mercury vapor in this volume here. Now if you had read up about what is vapor pressure, Vapor pressure is the pressure exerted by mercury vapor against its own liquid, against its own mercury liquid. So PV, in reality, we expect it to be 0. Ideally we expect it to be 0, but in reality it is a very small number, but it's a small number that's much smaller compared to the next term that's appearing next to it. So what we do is we say that within the bounds of measurement error, this is 0, and that the barometer equation or the barometer principle is that the atmospheric pressure is balanced by the pressure exerted by the barometric fluid. So this height here h, this height here h, this height here h, all this is mercury. The pressure exerted by this column of mercury is exactly equal to the pressure felt here, and that these two points are connected by the same line or in the same plane. So these two are at the same pressure. These two are at the same pressure. So you have the pressure here equal to rho GH equal to the pressure here, which is equal to the atmospheric pressure. So we connect the atmospheric pressure and this column of height h and write the atmospheric pressure equals rho GH. This is called the barometric principle, and this barometric principle is what you would call as a first principle measurement, first principles or ab initio measurement. Sometimes the word primary is also used, primary or ab initio measurement of pressure. Why is it called first principles or ab initio? Because this measurement technique needs no calibration. It's not a sensor, there is no output, there is no input, there is the pressure that you wish to measure and that the equation that connects the two of them, and this comes from theory, it doesn't come from any correlation or calibration, etc. So this equation here, P atmosphere equals rho GH. This Hg can be replaced with any fluid, can be any fluid, okay, any fluid which is a liquid, not a gas, okay, it has to be a liquid. You would have the measurement of pressure with the accuracy with which you know the density, and the accuracy with which you know you can measure height, and the accuracy with which you know the acceleration due to gravity. That is, if you want to measure the pressure with some accuracy, you need to know a liquid's density very well. So if this is very small, if you can measure height without ambiguity, you use a ruler with a nice resolution or a scale with very low resolution, and if you know the acceleration due to gravity with less uncertainty or with minimum uncertainty, that's how you get a good pressure measurement. So this equation here tells you that you can measure atmospheric pressure. Number one, it tells you that you can measure that. Number two, you can measure any pressure. I just said it is exerted by the atmosphere, but it could be a pressure due to a hose that is connected to a compressed air cylinder. It could be the pressure due to a balloon that is discharging on this surface. It could be any pressure. So what this equation also represents is that pressure is expressed in terms of height. That is, you can measure, you can specify pressure in pascals or psi, etc. Those are units of pressure. You can also measure pressure in terms of length. You can say it is millimeters of mercury, you can say that is inches of water, you can say it is centimeters of water, and so on. So suppose you go to the doctor, he or she reads your blood pressure and says it is 120 millimeters of mercury and bar 80, sorry, I'll just say 120 millimeters of mercury. So what does it imply? It means your pressure is really equal to the density of mercury times acceleration due to gravity times the height of mercury column. The doctor would literally have a column with markings like 80, 90, 100, 110, 120 up to 200 or 220, and that represents millimeters of mercury. So that's where they get the reading and tell you your pressure in millimeters is such and such. So if I were to convert this is 13,600 kilograms per meter cube multiplied by 9.8 meter per second squared times 120 millimeters, which I will write as 0.120 meters. That would be the pressure that is equivalent to 120 millimeters of mercury. You can either say it is equal to these many pascals, or it is equivalent to saying 120 millimeters of mercury. It's depending on your trade. You can be a doctor, you can be a car mechanic, you can be a power plant engineer. Depending on your trade, you choose which liquid or which unit system is the easiest for you. If you are a doctor, it's millimeters of mercury. If you are a plumber, your unit could be inches of water. Hey, what's the pressure head? It's 20 inches of water, or 10 feet of water, or 4 feet of water. So this really is a way of specifying pressure. You can specify pressure. Pressure can be specified as a height, and we call that pressure head. The pressure head is 10 inches of mercury, or 10 inches of water, something like that, or 10 feet of water, or 100 meters of water. What that really means is, if you want to specify like when you say the pressure is, let's say, 10 feet of water, when you want to say 10 feet of water, what that really implies is the pressure is equivalent to the pressure exerted by a column of water that is 10 meters high. That is, if I have a flow system, and let's say I take this particular point, at this point if I say the pressure is 10 feet of water, I don't really bring in water or 10 feet of column or anything here. It's just saying the pressure at this point is equal to the density of water times G times the height, and if you multiply this, you get the pressure at this point. It's just a way of expressing pressure. It doesn't really mean that you are bringing a column that's 10 feet, fill it with water and immerse it into your setup or whatever. That's not the case. When we say 120 millimeters of mercury, of course we are not talking about injecting 120 millimeters of mercury column into our bloodstream and then trying it to, no, it has no connection to this fluid here. It's just a way of specifying pressure, and it's called the pressure head or the pressure head. Okay. So moving on, how do we convert this concept of a pressure head into a way to measure the pressure in a fluid? Like how are we going to turn this into a measurement technique? Okay. What we do is, let's say suppose you have a tube that is bent in the form of a U. The original U tube. I don't want to write the common U tube spelling. It's the U tube. Okay, it's the U tube. Now, if you have a liquid like let's say mercury, this is mercury. You have a U tube. That's both the limbs are even. They are symmetrical. If you expose them to the open air, you have atmospheric pressure acting here and the same atmospheric pressure acting here. So both the pressures are pushing the liquid down equally. As a result, this height is the same. Same because the same pressure is acting at both the locations. Okay. Now suppose I revise this thought, and on this side, let's say I connect this to a balloon whose pressure is 2 times the atmospheric pressure. Suppose I connect this to a balloon where the air is pressurized to 2 times the atmospheric pressure, and we'll assume that this connecting tube, both these connecting tubes, they are of very small length in reality. So what that means is this side is being pushed down more than this side, right? So what would you expect? You would expect that this liquid level is lower than this liquid level. There is a height difference